Okay, this is going to be interesting one. So, in case you don't know, after the public media loss of the federal funding led by Donald Trump, and especially the shutdown of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, that PBS plans to cut the budget by 21% as a public media faces the loss of $1.1 billion in the federal funding over the next 2 fiscal years. This is gonna be an interesting one. I don't know that Donald Trump completely ruined public broadcasting, and especially almost ruined Paramount Skydance, even though got canceled the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. But unfortunately, it didn't. But I think that Paramount Skydance merger was fine. But the merger did well, and even I'm not boycott anymore. But even the legacy were pretty much fine. It's not going to be like Warner Bros. Discovery all over again. But still, let's continue on over reporting for Deadline. Pop leader, president and CEO of PBS informed station general managers on Wednesday, 2 days ago, of the planned cut that overhaul proof the station will be researched by $35 million. She said local outlets are grappling with their own budget holes gives the loss of the federal support. As the Congress would consider litigation to rescind the $1.1 million in funding already to stations NPR and PBS, clearly warned to separate cut. The Corporation of Public Broadcasting set up by Congress in the 1960s to distribute federal funding grants, announced that it will be a shutdown by the end of the year. The New York Times were first reporting on the PBS cuts. Although PBS only received a small portion of direct funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting stations, also paid dues to a national outlet which distribute shows like PBS NewsHour and Masterpiece. Public media autocrats have warned that some stations, particularly those in rural areas, renting of the federal funding for the larger portion of their budget for that towards in larger cities with a bigger base for supporter of private donors. Kader Mattert, the president and CEO of NPR, told Texas Public Radio last month that we would cut $8 million for the budget in order for us to pass along that as a free redlet to the most affected stations. She described the rhetoric as a short-term step as NPR works on a longer-term plan. Current federal funding runs through the end of the fiscal year, September 30th September. President Donald Trump championed the rollback of federal funding and threatened to will hold supporters for lawmakers who voting against their wishes. So that's not really good for public broadcasting service, PBS for short. But this is about the end of PBS and as well along with CPB. Corporation of Public Broadcasting as a whole, because I boycott. Actually, no, I'm not. I pretty much we need to say PBS without the federal funding was ended after a shutdown of Corporation of Public Broadcasting. So please, if you leave in the comments to say I want to know, we need to say PBS and CPB to. Without the federal funding was on losing, and after the shutdown of CPB, we need pretty much people get rid of Donald Trump because he's a terrible president for the second time, and we need to save all the public broadcastings to new era, and especially the new beginning. So let's do the hashtag save PBS, hashtag save CPB, hashtag save NPR, and hashtag save PBS Kids. So please leave in the comments below and let's spread the hashtag. Thanks for watching.